Shalom. Shalom. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Kakudash. Water Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, giving us the spirit of truth in these last days to our command receive. Some honors to our head apostles, and then three millstone, and also the truth, for the body of our peace, love, insight, teaching, to the point of our action, and always the for the name of Yahweh, Yahushai, the truth, and sincerity. And so on to be destined, that scattered by the folks of the earth, predestined to receive salvation. Under destruction, primarily is going to take place in Babylon, the Great Christian father of Egypt. Those who say is America, open slaves, and the free. I need the brothers from my GMS, 10 day 12, I can't buy here in chapter 4, the art, Babylon, the belly of the beast. Mexican blessings, edifying, company, all right, to the sincere, Akim, Wak, that wholeheartedly believe in Yahweh. Okay, and I'm just going to pretty much just build on, the house of David being built, all right, these last days, in the background of Esau, Edom. Somebody want to get that real quick? Psalms 50. Gather my saints together. Make that point real quick. The deal that being gathered. Okay. While Esau Edom is, he's doing this. Michael, the second chapter says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity upon his bed." So meanwhile, while he's devising this iniquity upon his bed, okay, he's setting up how he can come up against the dust. With that Psalm 37, he plots against the dust. So meanwhile, while he's plotting on how to destroy, okay, what Yahweh is trying to set up, and that's ultimately he want to destroy the outside. It's going to set that 13, but going into the point, man, while he's in the background setting up his one world order, his new age religion, being an MOTB, MARK, you see him, all right. Meanwhile, while he's setting that up, guess what Yahweh is doing? Right in the midst of, right under his nose, man, setting up his house, setting up the next roots, man. That's from Daniel 7 chapter. Okay. Got it. Whoever got it. Psalm 50.
The book of Psalms, chapter 50. I'm sorry, verse 4. Start at 3. Psalms chapter 50, verse 3. Our power shall come and shall not keep silent. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him.
See that again?
Our power, Psalms chapter 50, verse 3. Our power shall come and shall not keep silent. A fire shall devour before him.
Yeah. It say our power shall come and shall not keep silent. How is the Most High speaking? How is the Most High consuming Babylon the Great? How is the Most High taking this place down? By his prophets. Okay?
And scripture says, my words shall no longer be prolonged. So now these things that the Lord has spoken of pertaining to judgment, what the judgment would come to the heathen, now we're starting to see, like it says in Habakkuk 2, the vision was yet for an appointed time. Okay, so those words that the Lord spoke were for an appointed time. We getting ready to see the destruction of a lot of people. It's starting at the house of the Most High. Okay, so a lot of Israelites are getting ready to be judged, man. Get destroyed. Okay, and the elect is being built up. They're being green. Okay, to become the leaders and the rulers that we're going to be. Okay.
A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above into the earth that he may judge his people.
That's what the brother just said, that he may judge his people. So judgment is starting different. But what is the Lord doing? He's sifting, man. He's ridding everybody that don't got faith. If you don't believe, you guess what? It's saying for you, man. Okay, and that's what's bringing the tabernacle of David, the house of David, more knitted together. Because what should say the house of David waxed stronger in what? In the faith, man. You see? So the Lord is ridding unbelievers, man. Okay, and solidifying the house of faith, man. Okay, go ahead.
Real quick, in that verse 3, the word there for pestilence, it's in the Hebrew it is shire, shire, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it says to storm, shiver, dread, bristle with horror, be very afraid. And that's what time is coming. It's going to be a time of fearfulness, a time of darkness. Okay, the Lord's taking away the light, and people are going to become afraid, man. Very afraid. Okay, it says to storm away of God's action against the wicked. It says to sweep away, which is the best of destruction. Okay, those missiles, it said with fire. Prior to that, Okay, that he shall not keep silence, a fire before him shall devour. So this is the Lord getting ready to bring judgment upon the earth, man. Okay, and if you're not with the fear of the Lord now, then you're going to be afraid in those days, because the election, the ones that the Lord is preserving, okay, that he's bringing back together, we're not going to be afraid in that last day, other than having the fear of the Lord. But we're not going to be afraid of the things happening upon the earth, because we understand the words of the Lord. We understand judgment. Okay? You got that.
Psalm chapter 50, verse 4. He should call to the heavens from above and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Yeah, and that's what the Lord is doing. He's gathering. Somebody got the rule 5 and 5, real quick. Rule 5 and 5. The Lord is gathering us by His word. Okay, this word is how we're gathered together. We're in unity of the faith because of the word of the Lord. Okay, we're coming to the agreement, and we was watching that video class. All right, and one of the brothers had mentioned, I believe, Brother Tanaka had mentioned how knitted the brothers were in that what was it, the rock going into what was it, Ross House? The illegal. Yeah. Okay. All right, but what they were knitted together when it came down to counsel, man. And that's what the Lord is looking at. He's gathering those that are knitted together. Okay. All right, in His word, man. All right, go ahead.
I got a quick piece of the because the brother said that being knitted together with the word is Yahweh Shai. This is precept Matthew 25, and I'll start at verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in His glory, because we read about the Lord coming. Okay, and that verse 3 says, when the Son of Man shall come in His glory and all the holy angels with Him, then shall He sit upon the throne of His glory, and before Him shall be gathered all nations, and He shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from his goats. So He's dividing the wicked from the people who's getting judged, and those that He's gathering up together. Okay, those that are going to be brought to Him by His word. Like this is His spirit, the spirit of prophecy.
And meanwhile, all that is happening, that separation is happening while Esau Edom is taking full threads in his building up his new world order. So the Lord is setting, once again, while we go into the history class, while you have these empires, or you have this, these empires, okay, reaching their maximum potential, the Lord always had a king raised up in Israel or Jerusalem. He always had a king raised up, or he had a king set up. Okay.
Check this.
All right, they were going off or whatever, but the point is, it was always something gathered or built up in the background. Okay, it was always work being done in the midst thereof. And what that is Zephaniah, the Lord said, what? He said, wait ye upon me. Okay, so the Lord is gathering these nations together, simultaneously building the house of David in the faith, separating the unbelievers, all right, from the believers. Okay, and that faith is waxing strong simultaneously while Esau Edom is reaching his maximum potential. Okay.
And more specific, amongst Israel, the Lord is building up the tabernacle of David, and He's also breaking down the wicked of our people, because our people follow after Esau, their father, the devil. Okay, let me finish this, and then you both got it. Matthew 25 and 33, and He shall set the sheep on His right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
The whole time. It was prepared. The whole time it's prepared, but what? The Lord put the Spirit on us to walk this way, man. All right? That's why the Spirit said, cast your burden upon the Lord. We're not supposed to think about, what's going on out there, or even what's going on in your life. Just believe that Yahweh Shai got you, because He's working on everybody. He's working.
You got to trust in the Lord. That's right. The scripture says, give not thought for tomorrow will think of itself. We're paraphrasing. The things that are going to happen tomorrow, you ain't got no control over right now, man. You're gonna do whatever the Lord is going to tell you to do. So why worry about it? You just got to have trust in the Lord that if you walking in truth and sincerity, that He's going to deliver you. That's all it is. But that's easier said than done. For many of our people, they can't trust the Lord. They don't even fear Him. And that's where all this starts at, is fearing the Lord, man. But David was one that feared the Lord with all his heart, man. He acknowledged the Lord in all his thoughts. Whenever he wanted, he was going to go do something. Who did he inquire of? The Lord, man. And what did the Lord do for him? He built his ass up, man. You know, not to say it, you know, in that manner, but he King David, man. Everybody knows about King David, whether they believe in the scriptures or not. He's a man of renown, man. That's how much the Lord is, what's the word? Made his fame go out through the whole earth, man. Where to this day he still talked about King David and how he slew Goliath, or whether they knew, people know that, everybody knows about the story of David and Goliath. Okay, but King David was a magnificent man, and so were his men underneath him. Now the house of David, man, those were valiant men, men that were fully set to follow after righteousness, man. Okay, now they had their weak moments, like King David going off, you know, committed adultery, but that's the nature of it. You know, like we talked about the other day, you know, the Lord showing us mercy. Okay, because hey, man, the Lord knows that we were just in this flesh, man. I don't know what's going on with it, but maybe it's just the TV. Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, come time. Yeah, get that real quick. That group, I like it. And I know both got precepts. We'll let it flow.
All right, Baruch chapter 5, verse 5. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east, and behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of Yahweh Shai.
Gathered from the west and unto the east. By what? By what? The word of the Holy One. So this is about the word of the Holy One. When you go into the word holy, it means consecrate. All right, meaning what? Being separated, right? Set apart. So this word, all right, was set apart from all words, man. And we all got that same word in us. And that's why we're gathered together. Okay, because this word that we're reading about, okay, it has to do with us being saved. It has to do with us escaping this destruction that's coming. It has to do with us being set back on top. Okay, and ultimately it has to do with Yahweh return. Okay, so we're gathered together by the word of the Holy One. Go ahead.
Verse 6. For they departed from thee on foot, and were led away of their enemies, but Most High bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory as children of the kingdom.
Yeah, and that's the time that's getting ready to happen. Right after the destruction of Babylon, and by the future events of this place being destroyed. Okay, family, death, destruction. Ultimately, we're going to be beamed up, man. All right, but the point was we're gathered by this word. All right, the word of the Holy One is why the Lord is gathering his saints together. All right, the building of the house of David. Okay, go ahead. Somebody got something else that quick. That was it.
This is the book of Isaiah 34, verse 16. It reads, it says, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want or remain.
And that's heavy because all of us have that. That's how you get built up in the spirit. You had to individually seek out the Lord. Okay, and that's what linked us all up together. We individually seeked out Yahweh Shai. Okay, we discerned between who was serving the Lord, okay, from righteous, all right, and from the wicked, man. Okay, who got it 100% and who don't. And that's why we're gathered together. And once again, we're speaking about how the house of David is being built, while Esau is going full-fledged in his ways. This is how we're being built by this word. This word is building us. The Lord has given us a grace period. He has given us time for this word to we able to put on what does Scripture say? Put on the armor of light. Okay, so we have time to get armored up, man. By this word. This word is everything. You know, so we got this time right now. While Esau doing what he got to do, we got time to build up in the armor. All right, by faith, chiefly by faith, because the Scripture says in Romans, whatsoever is without faith is sin. Okay, so we got this time period right now, this grace period, to build up the house of David with this word. Okay, so that when the time comes to face Goliath, being Esau Edom, okay, bringing on his MOTB, his new age religion, we're able to overthrow that, okay, by that stone, okay, being Yahweh Shai, being in our faith, man, because we already been built up. See? Go ahead.
It says, for my mouth they have commanded, and his spirit they have gathered them.
Yep. His spirit gathered them, man. So the spirit of Yahushua has gathered us, man. So that's why I was watching one of the elders saying, you gotta, oh yeah, the video the brother sent out on Why Are You Here? Elder Ariana said, do you not see the significance of how Yahushua has gathered us together by his word? You see what I'm saying? His spirit has gathered us together, man. And you gotta have faith and you gotta keep going on that faith. Okay. That was it.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 4. There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all.
That's this body being built. The house of Jacob, man, being built. Man. Two believers, first believers in Yahushua. Same man who was with him at that time, here today. Believe in that, bro. We don't need to pick up a weapon. We don't need armor. Right? We don't need a nuclear arsenal. Because ultimately, Jake don't got that capability anyway. Man. He don't got nowhere to. You don't got no. You know. All we got is faith in Yahushua, man. You know.
The book of Daniel, second chapter, is going to the point of how the Lord deals and deals with the entire planet Earth. You know, the things the 4:7 says, "You will from the kingdom manage." You know, in the midst of this level, you know, setting up His authority, via technology and Him trying to set Himself as the Most High. I trip everybody against New order plan. There already is a new order. There's already going to be a global reset. So what Psalm 6 chapter, why the page Lord has already set up, so Daniel 2, which you go into the book of Daniel, second chapter, you know, it's a vision of Nebuchadnezzar, that statue. Right? We're going to get to the point of the statue where we are now, right? Pay close attention to the wording of precept. So Daniel 2, I'll start up a little bit. Daniel 2, verse 43 says, whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of them. So that's going to what the chapter says. Esau got himself all nations, that golden cup. He's mingling himself among the seed of men, going into him and his philosophies and trade deals, and again going to a new order system. One world this, one world that. Again, this is going into ultimately a modern Tower of Babel. He says, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron does not mix with clay. So we go into this beast, right? NATO, EU. You got these stronger nations really backed up by the military. You got America, what's the strong military? The British, you can say, the French to an extent, but they're not cleaving one to another, going to this division. You got weaker nations not holding up in the bargain. You got Greece, Belgium, these other smaller nations in that agreement that are holding up there in the bargain. So that goes into the division. So really, you say Esau at his peak. Really, he's at a low point. He's at a decline. Esau at his peak was, back when he was had us in chains and shackles. That's why they're talking about build back better and make America great, because they're trying to go back to the state they had when they were in their glory. But so far, America, also this whole system as a whole, is not as strong as you think it is. It's falling apart. But here the point here, Daniel 2 and 44 says, in the days of these kings, for the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom. So in the midst of all this going on, in the midst you got geopolitics, these legislation being pushed. Again, we watch prophecy. Daniel 9 chapter says, measures out of time diligently. We know about the chip. See it for us going into it. Of course, World War III. Here we stirred up. So in the midst of all this, the Lord is setting up the kingdom of heaven. As Yahushua said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Right, starting with the knowledge. All right, so once we have enough of this truth, that's the kingdom. All right, Yahushua is on revealed onto his chosen. All right, let's understand the mysteries of the kingdom. Right, so Daniel 2 and 44 says, in the days of these kings, the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. All right, and let's go into the tabernacle thing. All right, with Yahushua on top, it says, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So again, going to the point that's when the Lord, as he deals with dualities, we have, going into balance things, we go into a scale, right? When something gets heavier than the other thing, one gets lifted up and one gets dropped down. Yeah.
Psalm 75, where I say the Lord somebody want to get it real quick? Just real quick. And you speak on it too, bro. Because that's the point. You can't lift up your horn like you the one that's in power. That's what the Lord is showing. That's what He showed from all these kingdoms that we're reading about, man. You know, we study, okay? We go through history class. That's what the Lord is showing that, bro. You don't have the power. The power is not in you, okay? The scriptures say the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. Okay, but now we're coming into the time where the Lord is, and in due time, the Lord is getting ready to set up the prophet. And we need the earth to be, we need for the prophet who want to be here, bro, because there will be no life. The scriptures say no flesh will be saved. So somebody got to be profitable to bring forth life, man. Okay, who is that? Yahushua, man. That's why He gave that sacrifice. Okay, so that not only when His kingdom comes, we can actually partake in that life as well, too, man. Okay, because this devil, man, is getting ready. If it was up to him, everybody would be destroyed, man. Okay, he would destroy himself. Why? Because he cannot get enough. The scriptures say in Habakkuk, he enlarges his borders as depth, he cannot be as hell, and he cannot be satisfied. You cannot satisfy a demon, man. So the Lord has to purpose this man, Obadiah, one chapter dedicated to the devil, to get rid of him, man, and bring forth life. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. It's Psalm 75 and 1, right? To the chief musician, Alphas hit a psalm of David of Asaph's bucket. Unto thee, O power, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks, for that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declared.
And real quick, why do we give thanks? That's beautifully started from the top. That's why we give thanks to Yahweh because we understand the end. We understand that the why Yahweh for us knowing the balance. We understand good and evil now. This is not for our destruction. The why Yahweh for giving us this truth, revealing yourself into us, and then still giving us the shot at immortality. The water for showing us that this devil is getting ready to be destroyed. And even though he has pride, he's still getting ready to meet his demise. So why do you have for opening up our mind? Okay, unlocking the code. Okay, so we can understand the levels, okay, of your understanding, man. You see? Okay, well, why do you set this devil over us, man? So the water again, thanks be to Yahweh for giving us this truth. Okay, which the world cannot receive, man. All right.
Verse 2 says, when I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it, Salah. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn.
And what I said to the fools, the top fool, he's so evil, man. Why? Because what? In his mind, there is no power above him. And this is what this devil is showing with his technology, with his AI technology, with his artificial intelligence. He's showing that he's showing you in 4K, like the bro say. All right. He don't give a damn about power over him. But thanks be to Yahweh for opening up our mind to read the scriptures where it says in their heart is deep. You see? The Lord opened our mind up to read the scriptures, man. And every one of their heart is deep. How deep you devils your mind is, man. How to get rid of the nation of Israel, destroying everything that we have, man. Setting yourself up to be on high. All right. Trying to set up your new immortality. You got these devils in the World Economic Forum talking about we okay with making the Most High upset. Okay. We don't care how mad we make God. Proud, man.
But go show you they acknowledge them, though. These people with all this AI, this transhumanism, this new wave of this high form of witchcraft, really, what is technology. All right, the highest level of technology is people trying to integrate men with machinery, but they acknowledging and letting you know that there is a God because they're saying we're not mad, we're not like we don't care how mad we make them. They're letting you know it is one that exists. So what about all the science and stuff? You say we don't care how mad we make God. You saying that He exists, man? He is. You got no choice, man. The Lord says you shall make your own tongue fall upon you, man. Okay? But you're just showing that you're contrary to everything of the Most High. All right, that you're purposely trying to anger the Lord. You're purposely coming up against the Lord. This is why He's gonna send His Son, man. All right, to knock you down. Yeah, let's finish off and get to the point you want. Psalm 75:4 says, I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up the horn. Power. Yeah. Verse 5 is the point you want. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck.
That's what it's never been. His new world order is straight stiff. Okay? He coming at the most high with it. He want to get rid of everybody, the so-called black, Latino, Native Indians. He wants to see no use for you, man. Okay? These elites, they look at us as useless eaters, man. All right? Bottom feeders, man, if you will, man. Okay, for the new world order, you ain't on the agenda. Okay? All right, and that's why they took down what just recently, as long as the Georgia Guidestones was been up there, they just recently took it down. But see, that physically happens to show you everything is spiritual. They moving forward with their agenda, man. Their new age religion, being the MOTD. All right, they're moving forward. We're getting rid of all our religion. Okay, and chiefly the belief in Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why what's that revelation that say their dead bodies shall lay in the streets where spiritually our Lord was crucified, because he's not physically crucified here. He's spiritually, he's not accepted here, man. Yahweh Shai is being hanged on the cross here, man. Spiritually. And what was meant? Not being accepted, this doctrine not being accepted. You see?
Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another.
And that's what's happening. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is getting ready to put you down, bro. What's that, Isaiah 47? All right, there is no throne. The Lord is getting ready to humble a so-called white man. Okay? And what? And set up the one that is profitable, starting off Yahushua when he returned. But it's starting with us. Us preaching about Yahushua, us parenting Yahushua, us building in the word, gathered together by this word. Parenting in Yahushua, man, who is the word. You see? He's lifting up one, he's lifting up another, right under your nose, man. Gathering his saints together. Okay, and we not lifting up a sword. Okay, we're not coming at you. We're not, you got agents around. But all you're gonna say is all we do is study. Have class, go out, fellowship. See what I'm saying? Why? Because we're gathered by this word. We understand what's going on. The Lord is building up another rulership. Future world leaders sitting here, man. On the planet Earth, across the four corners of the earth. Future world leaders in agreement with the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. Making themselves a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. That's the Lord building up one and getting ready to sit you down, for everything that you've done. Okay.
This is verse 8. Psalm 75:8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he pours out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out, bring them up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what? The scriptures say the punishment of our iniquity is the company. And what's that in Jeremiah 49? Okay, it says, thou altogether go unpunished. Thou shalt surely be punished. And you getting ready to get the last drop. Okay? You see what our nation had to go through and getting ready to go through, 2/3 of our people, and be elect through the straight gate. All right? We're drinking of that cup. Okay? How much more you devils when we get changed? How much more you devils when we on top and you on the bottom? You getting ready to drink, and you getting ready to drink of that cup, man. Bring everything out. Get ringed out of you, man. Okay? This is prophecy what we're telling you, man. This is why the Lord said, what? In my wrath I smote thee. But in my favor will I have mercy on you, man. The wrath of the Lord is setting up you devils of worship. See? But his favor is what? Giving us the outside, giving us this truth, giving us this word to understand in these last days, in the last captivity. See? That's his favor. That's his mercy. Because through the outside, that mercy is going to be given on brothers, they women, and their children. But wherever they scattered, don't matter. The Lord knows his man. It's going in John 17. None of them lost. Okay?
Matthew 24, I believe it says, he shall gather them where they were scattered onto. Yeah, I think it's verse 31. Matthew 24 and 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet. They shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto the other. So where we've been scattered, because the elect is not just all here in America. The election is all over the earth. They've been scattered. All right, now there's a big portion of them here in America because this is where the majority of Israel was brought over to in captivity. But Yahushua, being that acceptable sacrifice, we're able to enter into the mercies and blessings that the Lord has for the acceptable sacrifice through Yahushua, and He's going to be the one that's going to bring us to the Lord. Okay, because when He comes down and gets us, that's when we're going to be changed. We're going to be made into a new creature to be able to enter into the Holy of Holies and be with the Lord. Okay, but it's going to take a changing to happen. Okay, it's going to take impurities to be removed out of you for you to be found even acceptable in the eyes of Yahushua. All right. So those dregs that are being removed from us, the rest of the wicked of this world is going to have to drink of the unpureness. Okay. You're going to have to drink a cup of nothing but dregs. Imagine that, man. You drinking the filth in a drink. You get a drink and you use the filter to remove all the crap or the junk or whatever you want to call it. You having a drink like you make orange juice and you got the pulp in the juice. You want to get the pulp out. You consider that dross. Imagine having to drink a whole cup of that. The nasty shit that's full of the scum at the top of the bowl. Well, that's what you nations got to go through, man. You're gonna starting with Esau, Edom, going through the wicked of our people, man. Y'all got to drink the dregs that are being removed from the left, man. As we're being made pure, you're being made further unclean. Okay? And he's going to get to the point to where that stench is going to reach onto the Heavenly Father, and that's when that sacrifice is going to be filled. Then it's time to go ahead and close that door to the burner and light this bitch on fire. And watch it all burn and come crashing down, man. And as Yahushua himself said, I beheld Satan as lightning cast down to the earth, man. So that's how quick this thing is going to happen, man. It's going to be moving real quick. And just as quick as this place is falling, it's as quick as the elect is going to be risen up, man. All right, which the Lord has already risen us up. We've already stood up on our feet because we got that breath of life back into us again. But we talking about a rising up of entering into power. Okay, entering into the house of David. Okay, matter of fact, get that Zechariah 12 and 8 real quick. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 12, verse 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Yeah, he's going to defend us, man. Meaning he's going to fight for us. All right? He's going to protect his elect, man. Ultimately, at the end of the day, all this that the Lord is doing is for all Israel's sake. But the same shall know by death by pain. There's a majority of our people that are going to have to just learn to through their death of what the Lord is doing for us because they don't understand judgment. The wise do, the ones that have wisdom do, but the wicked of our people don't understand what's happening. They don't understand that these things that are being brought upon the earth is for their betterment. Okay, because the Most High deals with us as He deals with sons. And so then He's dealing more specifically with the elect. But at the end of the day, all these things are being done so that all of Israel can inherit the blessings, man. The promises that were given unto our forefathers. Okay? We'll continue on.
It reads on, it says, and he that is feeble among them has had days of David.
Yeah, that's the rest of Israel, man. Everybody outside the elect. Okay? They shall be as King David, man. He that is feeble, because there's going to be different classes of Israel in the kingdom of heaven, man. We all going to be living it up. We all going to be perfect. But there's going to be levels between the elect and the rest of Israel, man. Even amongst the elect, there's going to be a distinction between the elect and 144,000. And among the 444,000, the 12. And then King David, Yahweh Shai, which King David was a part of the 12, if you can receive it. But nonetheless, man, there's going to be a difference. We'll keep going. Yeah, it says, and the house of David, yeah, so it's making a distinction. Is separating the two. And the house of David. Go ahead.
And the house of David shall be as God has the angel.
Yeah, we're going to have them powers, man. We're going to be in them chariots. We're going to be able to transliterate, transform into whatever, move, just vanishing and do all types of powers, man. Okay? This is what the Lord is preparing us for. Immortality, man. To be as God. Many gods. Go ahead.
As the angel of the Lord before them.
As the angel of the Lord before them, man. Which what? Yahweh Shai and them angels coming back. He said, we're going to be made like unto them, man. Now, we're not going to be on the level of Yahweh Shai, of course not. But, hey, shit. We're going to be joint heirs with him. I'll say that. Okay, we're going to receive what he's received. Okay?
Here's the thing. You're going to be just like him. Back the brother up. The scripture say we're going to be just like it outside. Not exactly like him, but change, being in a new body, receiving immortality, being joint heirs, man. You know what I mean? That's the one that's being set up over that's profitable. Okay? And that work is being done right here on earth. In the midst of great wisdom. The starting of that immortality is us teaching about Yahushua, man. You see what I'm saying? It's starting right here on earth. That's why Yahushua said, when he returns, shall he find the faith? Shall he find those that were doing what he said, to do when he returned? And we understanding Yahushua coming back. We just hoping to be one of those men that he don't say, I never know you. We're hoping to be one of those men that was faithful, bro. Even where your life on the line, man. But even then, the Lord is going to give us, he going to put the spirit on you to go that way, man, to go all in. So ultimately, Yahushua, it's all about Yahushua. It's him. The scripture says to live is Yahushua and to die is gain.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. Now, 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. So right now is the time when the Lord is first beginning to raise the house of David, by the Spirit, by blessing us once again with his doctrine, those dead bodies that once was dead, they now we've been made alive through the Spirit. So that's why the Lord, when the brother was reading the Psalm 75, exalt not thy horn, because Esau Edom, he opposes the Most High, he exalted himself over the Most High, but the Lord is going to set up one that is profitable. And it's starting right here in the Spirit. That's why Esau Edom, pursuing Revelation 12 and 12, is going to have to come down with that great wrath. It's great fear upon all of these nations, really, because why? They know that if we are in league with our power, there's nothing they can do against us. And it's starting through the Spirit right now. That's why all these things are transpiring upon the earth, man. That's why these prophecies rolling the way they're rolling, because watch, Lord he sent forth his prophets, man. He poured his Spirit back out upon the earth. Second Ezra 9 chapter, they measure down the time diligently without seeing these signs, then you should know that the Most High is beginning to visit the earth in which he created. So once they seen the prophet stand up, man, they knew that the Most High was back on the scene.
Because that's not light to the elite. Seeing men coming out of the world and seeing men that's not bowing to society and bowing to the way they got shit moving, they take on a high level. It's like, damn, who is them? That's refusing, And then not only that, we got the truth. We got 100%. Okay, we are tapped into the Father of the heavens, man, the Father of the universe, man. Yeah, how about outside? Yeah, how about staying outside? So that's putting dumb fear on you, man. That's why Revelation 12 said they coming down with great wrath because they know they got a short time because we tapped into the power. And now we're building on that power, which all across the world making us what an exceeding army, man. Being that house being built, man. Right under this man nose, man.
Yeah, I'm stopping this real quick. Psalm 75. It says, "But I will declare forever. I will sing praises to the power of Jacob." Verse 10. It says, "All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off." All right.
Come on, bro. That's beautiful. Can you read that one more time, Bobby Shaw?
Psalm 75 and 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off.
Yeah. So there's no, bro. That's not. It's not going to be anybody coming up against Yahweh. All the horns of wicked, Esau, Edom, Moab, all you nations. Because all y'all joining in with the top wicked, which the Bible speaks of. See? So ain't gonna be no horn, no power for anybody coming up against Yahweh Shai, man, when he returns. Okay? And him lifting up his men. Because we're being lifted up already in the spirit. Okay? It's just that transformation process is what's happening, man. All the horns of the wicked get ready to be cut, man. Through. Done. All right? Esau, Moab, all you nations, man. And even Russia out there too. You Edomites out there, you know, who ain't next, man. Your horn get ready to be broken, man.
All the crowns of the king. Scriptures talk about Yahushua having many crowns upon his head. He's been ready to do all the kings of the earth. Okay?
It says, "All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted."
And that's the meat. That's the brothers who was in the faith. That's the brothers who still stiffly. They're going to be exalted. That's who the Lord is dealing with. The Lord said he's high and lofty. He looking to those that are broken of a contrite spirit. Those are the ones that's going to be lifted up. That's who he's dealing with, the house of David. Just like he told David. He was low. All right? That his house is being raised up. And the same man that's in that spirit, lowly, mind. See? Meek, humble, man. Tending to the sheep. Chiefly. Because if you love Yahweh Shai, what you going to do? By default, you're going to feed the sheep. By default, you're going to be a sacrifice. By default, you're going to be a shepherd. Okay? Because you understand that it's him. It's him that's inside you that's doing it. It's the spirit. But to get to the bigger point, that spirit is in all of us. Not only just here in the States, like the brother said, that's across the world. And now you got that house being built. Okay? That house is coming into perfection, being lively stolen. Okay? They're getting ready to be exalted. That's the horn that the Lord delighted in. Man. That's the mountain where Yahweh is going to dwell at. It's going to Revelation 21. The tabernacle of what Scripture say, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he shall be with them. Okay? Not everybody is going to taste of immortality. All right?
I got something. This is Micah chapter 4. I'll start at verse 1. Micah 4, verse 1 says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountain, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it." So it's all leading up, the governing body, exactly. So we're in some very major shifting going on. You see on the left hand side, the wicked is running. As we quoted Revelation 12, they're trying to stay on that top of that seat because that seat's getting ready to be built. And ultimately, we already know according to prophecy, it's going to be Yahweh and his elect. The same goes, not to sing that song, what is it? Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I think the group is called Fears. It's a beautiful song, but again, it says on prophecy that the mountain of the Lord is going to be exalted, going to Mount Zion and Zion. Monument. Who's going to sit on top of that mountain is Shah.
It wasn't prophesied of a fifth beast.
Exactly.
All right. To come in power. Okay. And that's why the scriptures say, why we look not at the things which are seen, but basically we look at things according to the spirit. Right? Because if we look at things according to the flesh, what we see with our eyes, we'll be like, yeah, China up next. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we shouldn't be under the rule of the Chinese. You know what I'm saying? But that's why we can't look at things according to the flesh. Because that's not reality. Okay? What you see, man, what you don't see is more powerful than what you see. Okay? And right now, on the carnal sense, the world doesn't really acknowledge, as Onego Bar say, they don't really acknowledge the man of the Lord. but the Lord is getting ready to introduce us to the world, and it's going to be in a very dramatic way, if you will. All right, introduce your new rulers to this planet Earth. The Lord then prophesied, according to the Spirit, the Lord then prophesied for the Chinese to come into power. What's prophesied next is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai is by default the kingdom of Israel. Okay, and it's starting as the brother's going back to the point, the mountain of the Lord shall be exalted, which is the governing body. All right, you're looking at your new governors. Okay, and under this administration, so to say, for y'all to understand. Okay, the scriptures speak about how the nations are going to be happy. All right, the nations are you're gonna like your new rulers according to prophecy, because we're gonna deal with you. All right, according to righteousness, man. According to law, statutes, commandments. We're not gonna defraud you. We're not gonna rob you. All right, we're not gonna give you deceitful wages. Okay, you're gonna be tributaries unto us, but hey, we're gonna deal with you righteously on the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh. Okay, so this is that governing body. This is your new rulers that you see right now. All right.
The house of David is going to be that ruling house of all Israel. So the house of David, they're going to be the ones also that we're going to delegate, how other nations are run, and how they're dealt with, you know. That's the chief house, the house of David.
Judgment gonna be set, right? All your wickedness and all the things you did to oppress us, that got to be balanced out. So as we say, you gonna get your ass kicked, for them 1,000 years to balance out your debt, because you nations, starting with Esau, Edom, but you other nations, you're holding the debt. So right now it's an imbalance. So once you pay out your debt, then it's gonna balance. It's gonna balance out. Then we'll allow you to say the rest of the debt. All right, it's gonna be able to live then. But you got to balance out your debt first, man, because you nations help for the affliction. All right, you had a part in you contributed to the slavery and the oppression of the nation of Israel. So you got some debt to pay out first. But after that, you gonna
Like the dream, and that's why again, being spiritual, you understand, on the left hand side, just a bad copy. He still points to himself as the most on high, and then him trying to as God on earth for Lord, again, he's already doing it. Going ultimately, we said there's gonna be a global reset. Well, the Lord already says there's gonna be a global reset, and I said the chapter he says he's gonna set up the judges from the first. So we're going back to the beginning. What the Psalm says, that set thrones of judgment, the house of David, roughly paraphrasing, Micah chapter 4, verse 2, and that's how we know this prophecy ain't come to pass yet. Then you go into these precepts, the people over there in our land, they don't fulfill the scripture. And also, too, there's still war going on. That's what I get into.
And real quick, the brothers from the UK, I was watching him, if I could say this real fast while we were shopping. He was like, man, look at them small hats over there. They ain't going into these scriptures how we going into them. They ain't bringing these. Right now, they should. If they was the people right now, ain't nobody bringing out these scriptures. That's how you know we the teachers. Yeah, ain't nobody teaching this word. Here it is. We in the last days. All kind of things are popping off. The small hats, they ain't on what platform they got where they going in these scriptures and thoroughly breaking them down and bringing them out the way we doing. They spirit don't resonate with this word, man.
Yeah, because again, going to prophecy, we're going to how it's going to be a great deliverance. Some people don't need deliverance. They have every heart to push. They control the media. They got all that access on the planet Earth, man. They got wealth out the wazoo. They don't need to gather and deliver. They're talking about Balfour Declaration, trying to self-fulfill prophecy. That shit don't fit. Once we will know.
Like I said, it's a copy, bro. He's pretty much trying to play the copy. Yeah, he's trying to copy what Moses already got set. It's already prophecy, but he's been on his journey of covering up.
True, he's an imposter, bro.
Yeah.
Michael 4, verse 2, it says, and many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, into the house of the power of Jacob. And why would they do that? Because they go into Deuteronomy, going to the law, statutes, commandments that we have. This is a wise and understanding people that have the most that's pronounced them, that have laws, judgments,
prosperous.
Exactly.
It says, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh for Jerusalem. So again, going to the Lord setting up his kingdom, which again, you see it, man. And again, it's not the people that are already in that land now, and because they don't fulfill this prophecy. And going to again, the Lord consuming these kingdoms, what verse 7 chapter says, the kingdoms of this world become the kingdoms of our power. Those worlds going to be consumed by righteousness. This the whole vibration world that you're going to change. That's why it says it's going to be a new heavens and a new earth. That's going to be physically because geographical, identity of this earth right now is going to change. It's like after the flood did, that just natural war, chemical missiles, not going to be saying no more. But again, new heavens and new earth is going into rulership. It says the scepter shall not depart from Judah. So again, the Lord's going to rule the nations with a right hand. He's going to give us a piece of that as we're going to Revelation 2nd chapter. But at the point of Thomas kind of jumping into, this is Micah 4 verse 3 says, and he shall judge among many people, right? The Lord setting up those judges again. It says, the Lord, what they asked, what shall we have? Here after Peter asked, you're going to sit on throne judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Can I say this real quick too? Because nobody see Israel being set on top. So they don't see they don't see the fruit of us being on top. They don't see that. They don't see what we're talking about coming into fruition. All they see is niggas and spit. But what the brother just said, he shall judge being what? When your house side come back, man, it's ain't gonna be no talking, bro. It's gonna be him establishing as it is in heaven on earth, man.
Exactly. And it's beautiful you said that because he's going to judge angels. All right. Now the angels don't go off. Okay. So the understanding of that is we don't have power over the spirits. Basically, they govern. Hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. And you control the spirit, you control everything in the physical. Okay, because everything first began in the spirit. That's why to bring the point, he said that will be done on earth as in heaven. All right. The council starts in the heavens, and then bam, the Lord sends out the angels. All right, to execute things physically here on earth. All right, so we're gonna be over the spirit. What Yahweh Shai got, man, we're not gonna be on his level, but we gonna be the same thing. Okay, we're gonna have control over the spirit. Okay, we and it's showing we got it now in this work, but hey, we're gonna get on that level where we're gonna have control of the spirit. Right? By default, then we'll have control over everything. Like what he said, Peter, let's say he's bound. Basically, whatever he asks, he can basically bound here on earth. Yeah, whatever is bound in heaven here is bound on earth.
Luke chapter 22, verse 28. Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint you a kingdom as my Father hath appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And pretty much what the brother Mayel was saying, that's what the world delegation is going to come from the house of David. You know what I'm saying? Because another thing you mentioned too is the order that is going to come from, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, King David, the 12, and on down. But you see, although all Israel, will be perfect, it's going to start with the house of David, sending forth the orders, the judgments. Like another thing you just mentioned about judging the angels, what I'm saying? It's going to be a hierarchy, what I'm saying? It's an order. And that's why, because when you say judging the 12 tribes of Israel, of course, they're not going to be going off, but everything got to happen. Exactly,
Micah 4 verse 3 says, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations far off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So that's why going into Jerusalem being an omen, Jerusalem being a city for us of people, it's going to be a city of peace. And that city is going to go into the entire planet Earth, as goes into what the book of Isaiah chapter. The earth's at rest. Once the devil gets put out, they're going to break forth singing. Everybody's going to get exactly, bro. And again, that's why we know that's what we're anticipating. A shift. A drastic shift. And it's always been going into divine intervention because you can't break prophecy. That's why we stick to the script. Every like I was saying, you got to stay in the spirit. Like you look carnally, you can't think that this technology is passing this. Like, damn, this thing gonna be up for a while. That's what faith comes in.
The word says.
That's it.
That's what you see. The word says. The word say this. It look like this is about word say this, so that's why you gotta hold on to your faith. What does the word say?
We'll close out. Did you brother bring out Amos 9?
No.
Yeah, we'll close out on this thing. Amos 9 and 11. I'll read through 12. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Can I say this real quick? Because we split, you know, we were split. We were in, not only that, but going through captivity, slavery. Yep, we fell away, man. Then separated from our families all. But what the Lord has gathered, He's building the house. He's building the firm believers from all walks of life. You know what I mean? It's not. You can't say like, oh damn, I knew I was going to do that. No, the Lord set this thing up. He's gathering us together, you know, and we split all the way and everything, man.
Going to what David was doing, he was doing nations. He wasn't friends with them, you know, and you'll say, yeah, exactly, he hated, you know, especially Esau. You know, if it was up to David back then, he would have done away with Esau. Of course, prophecy had to play out.
King David says, do I not hate them that hate thee, O Lord? Other nations hated the Lord because he was a demonic power against them, you know.
And then the Lord said King David was a man after his heart. So if the Lord wasn't okay with that, he would have been told him, stop doing that. Don't be putting them in slavery. You know, don't have them on your feet, you know, being harsh with the nation because don't uppour Edomite right now, you know. And the Lord's okay with that, you know, and that's why Yahushua, what he's gonna do? He's gonna do the same thing.
That's what any nation do when they fucking get in power.
That's the first thing to do.
You know, here in Babylon, Medo Persian, Greece, Romans, they subdue the nation. So how are we wicked, you know, vocab Malone are going off of saying that we're gonna rule over the nation? Ain't that's what any nation do when they get in power? They subdue the nations around them and make them what tributaries onto them. What's it?
There's no such thing as a utopia, man. That shit's for the movies.
Yeah.
Everything in harmony and perfect. Nah, man.
Somebody gonna be over somebody.
The only in harmony and perfect are going to be the Israelites, and everybody else is going to be underneath them. But it closes out with verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen, which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. The Lord is the one that's setting up one and bringing down the others, like the brothers brought out earlier. He's raising up the tabernacle of David, ultimately the whole house of Israel, and he's bringing down Esau, Edom, and all the heathen, man. He's bringing them down from their high chairs that they've set themselves up on. Well, that the Most High did, but you know what I'm saying.
And that's spiritually, Esau got named first when the Lord said he's going to bring back the house of David. So that means Esau will be in power when the Lord's bringing up the house of David. It didn't happen no other time then, you know. It didn't happen in the time of Roman captivity, you know, when Yahushua wasn't seen that's happening now.
You know? And Edom shall be a possession. What's that? Jeremiah 51. The Lord, he was going into the destroying of Babylon the Great, but what? After, towards the end, it say he's going to make us the battle axe and weapons of war. You see? So that's why Edom is going to be a possession, because the Lord is going to use us. We don't got to worry. We just got to have faith in the word. He's going to make us that creature.
Lord's kingdom now, you know, not no more even Gentile kingdoms coming to power again, no fifth beast. This is the Lord's earth now, you know, that waiting process of them being humiliated, how him up on the right hand side. Now it's going to reap this prize, and first he live in his elect and again take over this throne.
You know, King's son says, man, your soul is mine, right? The outside is getting ready to come back and tell you devils, Edomites, and the rest of you heathens, man, your soul is his. Now you about to be in the hands of him and his rulers, him and his brothers. Hey, you know, that's pretty much the point. Anybody got anything else? So with that, Lord's will was edifying. I want to give all the praise and glory. I'll give you the house. Double honor to the elders, apostles, great millstone. Much blessings and salutations unto the Akim and Aquakim as well for diligently seeking the Lord and, you know, striving, you know, for the mastery, striving for the prize. You know, with that, keep enduring. Shalom.